Okay guys, we're going to do a little demonstration here, and the title of the demo is When Are Some Bulbs Brighter Than Others? And we're going to start off by showing you two sets of light bulbs. One set is wired in parallel. That would be these three bulbs. You can see by the wiring connection that they're in parallel. And one set is wired in series, and that would be these three bulbs. And you can tell that the current is forced to go through one bulb after another. So I'm going to turn off the lights in the room, and we'll take a look at the brightness of these two sets of bulbs. These bulbs, by the way, are identical. They all came from the same box. Okay, and you can see, as we've talked about in class, that the bulbs in the parallel circuit generate much more light. Okay, they're much brighter than the bulbs in the series circuit. If I were to take one of the bulbs out of the parallel circuit, it does not affect the others. And those are characteristics of a parallel circuit. By contrast, in the series circuit, if I remove one bulb, the others go out because I've interrupted the path. And current can't flow if I take one bulb out. So here we see the typical difference between series and parallel circuits. Now, I'm going to replace these bulbs with some different ones. And into my parallel circuit, I'm going to place three different bulbs. And from the packaging, I was told that the big bulb has 150 watts of power usage. The middle bulb has 100 watts. And the smallest one has 40 watts. And so the wattages are actually printed on the bulbs, but you can't probably see that, so I'll just put the little labels there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and activate the parallel circuit again. And hopefully you can see that the bulb, the 150 watt bulb, is clearly the brightest when wired in parallel. And the 40 watt bulb is the least bright. And that's what we expect when we buy such bulbs from the hardware store, that the brightnesses will change like that. So the 150 watt bulb should be brighter. So the question is going to be, what if we take the three parallel bulbs and put them into a series configuration? Will the same thing happen? Okay, and so I'm going to ask you to kind of make a prediction. You might make a prediction about the overall brightness. Do you think the overall brightness will be as great as it was in parallel? Probably not. But then I'd like you to think about the relative order of brightness. Will the 150 watt bulb still be the brightest of the three? Okay, so now these bulbs are wired in series. Let's take a look at what actually happens. And we get a rather interesting result. When the bulbs are wired in series, it appears that the 40 watt has become the brightest. Now you might think that the other bulbs maybe stopped working or burned out, but if that was the case, none of them would light. So if I unscrew the middle bulb, it interrupts the circuit. So the middle bulb is actually working right now. Same thing with the first bulb. If I unscrew it, it takes out the circuit. So certainly these two bulbs are actually lighting right now, but they're extremely dim. Okay, and try one other thing here. Going to wire only these two bulbs together to see if it's consistent. So now we're looking at the 150 watt bulb in series with the 100 watt bulb. You might make a prediction again as to which one would be the brightest. And again, we see this result that the lower power bulb is actually emitting more light. Now in this case, you can actually see the 150 watt bulb is lit, but it's very dim in comparison. So the question is why does this happen? And I'd like you to work on the simulations to come up with an answer to that question. And we'll see what we come up with tomorrow in class. All right, have fun.